Alright, so, hi, welcome to the video. First of all, I'd like to explain one thing. Thank you so much for the actual attention and love that you gave the last one I did, which was me hyperchrome grinding. That was a fun video. I was kind of lazy on that one. Also, my voice is better, if you couldn't tell, so I'm actually recording. Anyway, thank you for the support on that one. But that video raised a lot of questions. A lot of people are asking me, how can I get a Hyper 5? Can you help me get me a Hyper 5? What's the best way to get to a Hyper 5? Because I want my own G shift, blah blah blah, that type of stuff. So I decided, why not a better way, but provide a video showing my way and maybe one of the better ways to do it. This is by no means going to be like 100% the best way, but it's going to probably be the quickest way, and well, one of the best ways. But you know, there's probably, it just all depends on you. So let's go ahead and go on with that. In this video, I'm going to be showing you the best way to try to grind for your own hyper level 5. So I'm going to divide this video up into three different sections. This is going to be the intro, the next part's going to be the best vehicles to use, and then we're going to get into the actual best method to grinding hyperchrome level 5s. Hyperchrome level 5s have changed and overall gotten difficult over the times that they've been out since the new way that robberies open, and they've become a lot more complicated and everything like that. So this is the best method to do it right now in the way that they open. For whatever reason, if Jailbreak updates their game in this method of the robberies opening in groups doesn't exist anymore, then I'll maybe drop a new one if you like this one enough. So I'm going to go leave timestamps on the screen for what you want to see. So if you don't want to know what the best vehicle to use in the game, then you can skip to this timestamp right here. When I actually get into talking about how to grind the hyperchromes and everything like that. If you are interested in the best vehicles, then you want to just keep watching, and with that, I'll get on with the video. Also, another thing, hyperchrome level chances, don't watch this, and then you'll instantly pull a level 5 the next day, alright? It's gonna take time, be patient, everything like that. Anyway, thank you, get on with the video. But you probably ask, but one of the first things that's very important to hyperchrome grinding is what type of vehicle you should use. This all depends on playstyle. This all depends on a lot. I understand that not everyone wants to sit around and use the same vehicle all the time. If you're like me, I like to, have a variety of the cars I use. But there's always some of the best vehicles to use. So why don't we get into that? First off, one of the best obtainable vehicles in the game being the Flare, just right outside of the jewelry store. This is a immensely fast car with a top speed of around 320, or with a top speed of around 300, achievable top speed. It's very conveniently placed. If you're ever being camped at a jewelry store, this car is in a very convenient position, like that. But it's very fast, it's very quick, and I highly recommend it, and it looks very good. Now, the other car I would recommend using, if you have it, using Javelin. Javelin is one of the fastest cars in the game. It's actually faster than the Torpedo. It's not faster than the Torpedo, although in normal Jailbreak, for non-straight roads, if that makes sense, it's pretty much faster than Torpedo. Javelin is a great car to use when grinding. It has good stop time, it has really good reverse time, so you strictly turn in jewelry store money, you just go in and out. And if you're a better driver, you can get out a little bit faster, and then you can go to the next robbery. The best $1 million vehicles. Now this really varies, but I'm going to tell you this right now. If you have $1 million right now on your Jailbreak account, and you're thinking to yourself, which one should I buy? Let me break it down for you really quickly. As far as hyperchrome grinding and overall grinding, don't buy Monster Truck, don't buy Trailblazer. That easy. They are a complete waste. I have owned them before. I've traded them away for stuff like that. My number one, there's about 3 things we should know about the remaining 3 $1 million vehicles, and that is size and speed. So, as far as hyperchrome grinding goes, the military helicopter is not going to be the best. It's an amazing vehicle, don't get me wrong. It's the highest, it can go the highest out of any aerial vehicle in the game. It has its uses if you're grinding with a group, but as far as being out of robberies, it's kind of inconvenient. You kind of have to plant it in places, it's really big, it's really noticeable, it's hard to move around with sometimes in tight areas. I would stay away from it as far as hyperchrome grinding goes. Not that it's a bad $1 million vehicle, it's just can be difficult sometimes. The two vehicles I would definitely recommend are Drone and Volt Bike. Now, the thing about Volt Bike is it is extremely good. I 100% recommend using Volt Bike for any robbery, to get into places really quickly. 100% recommending it for Power Plant, which is why I'd also recommend for driving Hyperchromes that you maybe invest into the mobile garage game pass. Just being able to spawn a Volt Bike after getting right out of Power Plant, if you don't already have one, is incredibly useful. And Volt Bike is the best vehicle to use for driving the Hyperchromes for Power Plant, just because of the fact that it doesn't flip. Like, you don't have to worry about your car flipping out or anything. You're able to quickly turn in your money, so you're not only are you able to make a good amount of money from Power Plant, but you're also able to get your Hyperchrome. But yeah, Volt Bike is probably the best, as it's able to fit around tight, small areas. It's also able to really reach quick acceleration pretty quickly, already up to 200 miles an hour. It's also able to move around insanely quickly, go to places, you know, in their top, in maybe a Javelin or a Torpedo or a Bayonet or an Eclair or a Brilli or a Roadster wouldn't be able to get to that quickly. Volt Bike is the best. Drone is just an overall really round vehicle. Can't flip over, so it's really good for Power Plant. You get a little bit less money from it. Drone is two-seater too, so you can bring your friend along with you. And it can't go so high, but it's definitely, you know, very viable, very useful to use for grinding Hyperchromes. Very, you know, just overall a great vehicle. You know, you can quickly run around into here. If you don't have Seltzer, you know, Drone will always be there. The only thing about Drone, you can't spawn. But, you know, that's fine. But Drone is honestly just a very well-rounded vehicle. And I 100% recommend, you know, if you, between those two, honestly, either of them's going to be the best choice. The first group that we're going to be talking about here is the Power Plant, Cargo Plane, and Passenger Train group. This one can be the most annoying one to deal with. You can actually hit up at least two robbers at the same time. First, if you have Volt Bike, go for Power Plant first, alright? It's always about speed and how fast you can do the robbery. I'm demonstrating this in a private server. Don't do it in a private server, alright? If you're able to be quick with your fingers and you're able to, you know, quickly do this puzzle, start with Power Plant first, alright? Cargo Plane takes time to land. You might have to, you can get Passenger Train too if you know the guy to where it's at. The most difficult thing about Power Plant is the fact that you need to be able to do the puzzle, alright? But once you do the puzzle, you run around the parkour, you dodge the little deadly things, alright? Usually, what you want to do is run spawn the Volt Bike there, alright? Then you want to book it. This is probably the best path if you have really any car to take your money from Power Plant. I always go this way. It's one of the quickest ways. Volt Bike is the best one to use for Power Plant because of the fact that it doesn't flip or anything, so you don't have to worry about your car being flipped around the whole time. Alright. So, you just want to come over here, drive by, don't stop. Alright. Cargo Plane has just landed. I might not get it because I was nowhere near. But after robbing Power Plant, what you want to do is you want to take this path to go to Cargo Plane. This is probably, I think that this is the path I take. I always make it on time. This is the path to get to Cargo Plane. Now again, if you're in a public server, you know, you might have some complications of cops chasing you or anything, but, you know, for the most part, you'll be fine. And see, we made it to Cargo Plane on time. On the off chance that you don't make it to Cargo Plane on time and the door closes, but it's still on the runway, as long as you jam your car up to about right here, underneath the door, and jump out, you'll get in the Cargo Plane. From there, Cargo Plane's a simple robbery. Grab a crate and get out. That's about all. So, you know, the only time-consuming thing about Cargo Train, or Cargo Plane, my bad, is you have to kind of wait to grab the crates, which sucks. But just hold E on your keyboard, and you don't even have to just hold E on your keyboard near a crate, and once the button pops up, you'll be holding E. So, once you get a crate, pull the door, jump down onto this road. It doesn't matter what car you spawn. I accidentally spawned Bugatti. I did not mean to do that. I meant to spawn Volt Bike because I wanted to demonstrate. So don't do what I did. Don't be stupid. Take it right over here. Alright, there you go. You just got your cargo plane. Now, if I had actually correctly spawned Volt Bike, I probably won't be able to make it in time. Now remember, we're worried about the hyperchrome here, not the money. We're gonna be able to probably get the passenger train. So, this is the path I usually take. I feel like it's the quickest to be able to catch up a passenger train. My bad. You want to zoom down here. Again, Bugatti, one of the best, cheapest attainable cars. This cargo train, the cargo train, the passenger train. And you don't want to be stupid like me. I don't know why it jumped. See, just go into the back like that, grab the money, get out, spawn Volt Bike, and then boom. That's the method you want to do it. Alright? Simplest method to do it. You gotta be quick. It can be stressful. If you can't always go cargo plane first, I feel like. No. Let me explain it the correct way. Always start with power plant. Hyper purple looks beautiful. Always start with power plant. And then, depending on the color that you like more, cargo plane giving hyper blue, and cargo train giving, and passenger train giving hyper yellow. Depending on which color you like more out of that, aim for that vehicle. So if you don't like hyper blue and you like hyper yellow more, then go ahead and go for the train and ignore the plane. Now for probably the most stressful and most annoying ones to deal with in a public lobby, being the 3 bank, jewelry store, and museum. Just because of the fact that these, in my experience, close out and get robbed extremely quickly. Let me explain the method of this, alright? The best way, in my opinion, to do this is to try to stay with the group. If they're all robbing bank, don't just go rob jewelry store. Go rob bank, get your hyper green, alright? If they're all robbing jewelry store, go to jewelry store. If they're all robbing everything, your best bet is pick between which hyperchrome you like better, jewelry store or bank. Most likely, museum's going to either not be open, or it's going to be open for a while for you to being able to quickly rob one of these two. If you like hyper green over hyper diamond, go for bank. If you like hyper diamond over jewelry store, go for jewelry store. Don't worry about museum. If there's people at museum, there's definitely going to be a lot of people going in and out, so it'll stay open, so you'll have time to do one of these two. Alright? The next one's now being tomb and cargo train. We're going to ignore cargo boat because it doesn't give a hyperchrome. And if we're strictly going for hyperchromes, then we're not going to focus on it. Now the best way, in my opinion, to do this one is to go for the train first. Tomb stays open for a really long time and requires 3 people to open. 9 times out of 10, by the time you're done robbing cargo train, there still isn't going to be anyone over there. So the best method for this one, come here, blow the door, breach the vault. Don't go into the vault, just come drop down right here to the side where you blew it. Maybe this is a bad one. Sometimes there'll be the one where the gold is a little bit too far from where you breach it. Just come over here, breach it, drop down right here, then hop down right here, hug it, hold W in this position. You can just hop off by the time you get 250. But you know, like I said, tomb stays open for a while. I didn't mean to do that. Tomb stays open for a while, it requires to go and open. Go ahead and get your 4K if you really want to. You know, quick, easy way to do that. Run over to tomb. And either tomb, there'll be no one at tomb, so you kind of sit there, or you'll just kind of be here and look like this. I can't show you tomb. Tomb's simple. Just grab the tomb's simple. You know, it's easy to do. If there's no one at tomb, you can rob cargo boat, by the way, too. My opinion on it is maybe don't. Mansion can be difficult, so if you're somewhat of a newer player and you're not the best at the game and you're just grinding for hyper once, stay away from mansion. The only time I'd 100% recommend going to mansion for hyperchromes is when you have a level 4 on every other hyperchrome, or out of 80% of the other hyperchromes. Because Mansion automatically is going to pick from one of those hyperchromes. You have a Hyper Diamond level 4, Hyper Orange level 4, Hyper Yellow level 4, and Hyper Red level 4. It will take one of those and boost it up to a level 5 with a 2% chance. There's no point into walking into Mansion and being like, trying to grind it when you have level 1, 2, or 3s. Wait till you get your level 4s, then you start introducing Mansion into the picture. Next robbery group here is Casino, Crater City Bank, and Oil Rig. Oil Rig doesn't have a hyperchrome. The way I like to do this one, in a public server, Casino is like Tomb. Casino stays open for a while, it's very quick and easy to do, once security is disabled and everything. Bank is very easy to be closed by people. Bank can be quickly robbed, Casino can't. So, you know, you might feel like a jerk because you're closing Bank for other people in the server, but, you know, it's your hyperchrome grinding, not theirs. Always go Bank first, honestly. Bank, Casino will still be open by the time you complete Bank. So there's nothing to worry about. The only bad thing about attempting to grind Casino is sometimes cops will camp the elevator. And the elevator being the only way out means it can get kind of difficult to get out of here. So, that's the only downside of Casino, really, is once the police have been alerted, you know, they can camp the elevator and it's the way out. If there's a group of people down here and there's a group of people flowing in, you should be, yeah, normally okay. Once you get the vault door open, just run into here, grab this. If this isn't here, just run over here and grab this. I usually run over here and grab that whole stack if this isn't available. And then, you know, just walk on out. And then, boom. Now, here's a useful thing. If cops are camping the elevator, you're gonna have some trouble getting out. Because there's two ways they'll camp it, if you don't know. They'll either wait for you to call it down, and they'll be in the elevator waiting if you're unsuspecting it. Or they'll be camping on the ground floor, not in the elevator, waiting for it to be called down, and then they'll call it the ground floor, and then you'll be screwed. Sometimes, I haven't seen it many times, I've seen it once, but they'll also camp the roof. So, you know, just be careful how you're doing it. Let me clarify again, by the way, that this is the quickest methods of being able to do it. Because you're getting in and out of robberies really quickly and turning your money in really quickly and using the quickest vehicles in the game and blah blah blah. Alright? So, but don't take this video and go into Jailbreak later thinking that because that you know this method, you're gonna instantly start pulling level 1s. It could very well happen. You could very well possibly get like back to back to back to back to back hyperchrome. It's extremely rare, but it could happen. But don't go into the don't go with the mentality if you're trying to grind for your own level 5 and your own OG shift. Don't go in the mentality that you're gonna get it insanely quick, you know, just because you watched this video or other guides on it. You know, you gotta be patient. It's gonna take a while, you know, especially with the new robbery open method. You know, it takes even longer with that because it takes forever to open. And with cops camping and everything, it's a whole ordeal. I hope this video has been somewhat helpful to you as far as your hyperchrome grinding goes. If so, make sure you like the video and subscribe. And that's all I have. Good luck on your hyperchrome grinding journey.